If you're one of the 87% of Americans who've grabbed a frozen breakfast item while rushing out the door, you might want to pause that microwave and listen up. Because what I'm about to tell you about these seemingly innocent morning time savers will make you question everything you thought you knew about convenient breakfast. Most people think frozen breakfast is frozen breakfast, right? But here's what the 4.5 billion frozen breakfast industry doesn't want you to know. Some of these products contain more sodium than a bag of potato chips, more sugar than a candy bar, and enough preservatives to survive a nuclear winter. Because while you're thinking you're making a quick, harmless choice, you're actually playing breakfast roulette with your health. And some of these products are loaded dice. Today, we'll expose the breakfast villains masquerading as morning heroes and reveal the few frozen options that actually deserve space in your freezer. So grab your coffee. You're going to need it, because your morning routine is about to get a serious wake-up call. The worst offenders, number 10. Jimmy Dean pancakes and sausage on a stick. Starting our countdown at the absolute bottom, we have what can only be described as breakfast's answer to a corn dog. Jimmy Dean took pancakes, a food that's already questionable for breakfast, wrapped them around processed sausage, deep-fried the whole thing, and somehow convinced us this counts as a morning meal. Let's talk numbers. 350 calories, 19 grams of fat, and a staggering 640 milligrams of sodium. That's more salt than you'll find in a small bag of Lay's potato chips. For breakfast. On a stick. But the real horror show is the ingredient list. The pancake contains high fructose corn syrup, artificial flavors, and enough preservatives to make a Twinkie jealous. The sausage? It's mechanically separated chicken and pork held together with corn syrup solids and sodium phosphate. Here's the thing about convenience foods. They're convenient for the manufacturer's profit margins, not your health. When you can make real pancakes and actual sausage in roughly the same time it takes to microwave this science experiment, you have to ask yourself, what exactly are you paying for? Number 9. Eggo Homestyle Waffles. Lego My Eggo might be one of the most successful marketing campaigns in breakfast history, but maybe we should have let go a long time ago. These aren't waffles. They're waffle-shaped breakfast cookies masquerading as a morning staple. Each waffle contains 2 grams of sugar, which doesn't sound terrible until you realize most people eat 2, and that's before adding syrup. But sugar isn't the main villain here. It's what these waffles are actually made of. The primary ingredient is enriched flour, which is wheat flour stripped of its nutrients, then artificially fortified with synthetic vitamins. It's like taking a perfectly good apple, removing all the fiber and nutrients, then sprinkling vitamin powder on top and calling it healthy. Real waffles have a crispy exterior and fluffy interior. Eggos have the texture of sweetened cardboard that's been left in a humid basement. The home style in the name is particularly insulting, unless your home is a chemical processing plant. Number 8. Hot Pockets Croissant Crust, Ham and Cheese. Hot Pockets somehow convinced an entire generation that microwaved pastry filled with mystery meat constitutes breakfast. This particular variety promises a croissant crust, which is like promising a luxury experience at a gas station bathroom. At 760 milligrams of sodium, this single Hot Pocket contains nearly half your daily recommended intake. That's more salt than you'll find in 30 potato chips. Your blood pressure monitor is crying just thinking about it. The ham is a processed meat product that contains more water than actual pork, held together with sodium lactate and potassium acetate. The cheese is a processed cheese food that's about as related to real cheese as a Hot Pocket is to actual French pastry. And let's address the elephant in the microwave. Hot Pockets are famous for being simultaneously molten lava and frozen tundra in the same bite. This isn't a bug. It's a feature of their manufacturing process. The uneven heating is actually protecting you from tasting the full horror of what you're eating. Number 7. Pillsbury Toaster Strudel. Pillsbury Toaster Strudel markets itself as a pastry with real fruit, but it's actually a sugar delivery system disguised as breakfast. The strawberry filling contains more corn syrup than actual strawberries, and the pastry is essentially pie crust that's been processed into submission. 16 grams of sugar per strudel means you're essentially eating a Pop-Tart that went to finishing school. Most people eat 2, bringing your sugar intake to 32 grams. That's more sugar than a can of Coca-Cola, and you haven't even had lunch yet. The strawberry filling gets its color from Red 40 and its flavor from natural and artificial strawberry flavor. Real strawberries are listed as the 7th ingredient, after high fructose corn syrup, sugar, modified cornstarch, and citric acid. At this point, you're getting more strawberry flavor from a Starburst. Number 6. Aunt Jemima Pearl Milling Company. Pancakes. These frozen pancakes represent everything wrong with convenience culture. They've taken one of the simplest foods to make from scratch. Pancakes literally require flour, eggs, milk, and baking powder, and turned it into a processed food product that somehow takes longer to prepare than making them yourself. Real pancakes have maybe 6 ingredients. These have over 20, including calcium propionate, a mold inhibitor, sodium aluminum phosphate, a chemical leavening agent, and monocalcium phosphate, another chemical you can't pronounce. The texture tells the whole story. Real pancakes are fluffy and light. These are dense, gummy, and have the structural integrity of wet cardboard. They're not pancakes. They're pancake-flavored sponges that have given up on life. Number 5. Bagel Bites, cheese, and pepperoni. Bagel Bites took 2 perfectly good foods, bagels and pizza, and somehow created something that's neither. These aren't bagels. They're not pizza. They're just sadness in miniature form. The serving size is 4 pieces, which sounds reasonable until you see how small they are. 4 bagel bites have roughly the same surface area as a single actual bagel, but with 200 calories and 380 milligrams of sodium packed into that tiny space. The cheese doesn't melt so much as it liquefies into an orange substance that bears no resemblance to any dairy product found in nature. The pepperoni is a processed meat product that's been engineered to survive nuclear winter, and the bagel base has the texture of a kitchen sponge. Number 4. Kellogg's Nutri-Grain cereal bars. Kellogg's Nutri-Grain bars are perhaps the most successful marketing con in breakfast history. They've convinced millions of people that a cookie with a tiny amount of fruit filling is somehow a nutritious breakfast choice. At 12 grams of sugar per bar, you're eating the equivalent of 3 Oreo cookies for breakfast. The strawberry filling contains more corn syrup than actual strawberries, and the whole grain crust is mostly enriched flour with a token amount of whole wheat thrown in for marketing purposes. The ingredient list reads like a chemistry experiment. Corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, sugar, dextrose, and honey. That's 5 different types of sugar in a single healthy breakfast bar. Your pancreas is filing a formal complaint. Number 3. Pop-Tarts Brown Sugar Cinnamon. Pop-Tarts don't even pretend to be healthy anymore, which is almost refreshing in its honesty. These are cookies for breakfast, and everyone knows it. But what most people don't realize is just how aggressively unhealthy they actually are. 2 Pop-Tarts, which is 1 package and what most people eat, contain 32 grams of sugar and 10 grams of fat. That's more sugar than a Snickers bar and about the same amount of fat. For breakfast, the filling is essentially frosting with cinnamon flavoring, and the pastry is made with partially hydrogenated oils, artificial colors, and enough preservatives to outlast your mortgage. The brown sugar cinnamon flavor comes almost entirely from artificial sources. But here's what's truly disturbing. Pop-Tarts are marketed to children as a breakfast food, complete with cartoon mascots and bright packaging. We're literally training kids to think candy is an appropriate way to start the day. Number 2. Lean Cuisine Spinach and Mushroom Scramble. Lean Cuisine wants you to think this is a healthy breakfast option because it has vegetables in the name and lean on the package. But this is diet culture at its most insidious. A highly processed food product masquerading as wellness. At 700 milligrams of sodium, this healthy breakfast contains more salt than a large order of McDonald's fries. The scramble isn't made with real eggs. It's made with egg whites, egg substitute, and enough sodium to preserve it for months. The spinach and mushrooms are real, I'll give them that. but they're swimming in a sea of modified food starch, natural flavors, xanthan gum, and sodium phosphate. It's like they took actual vegetables and decided to punish them for being healthy. Number 1. Marie Callender's Sausage, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit. Marie Callender's built their reputation on home-style cooking, but this breakfast sandwich is about as home-style as a chemistry lab. The biscuit has the texture of a hockey puck, the egg is clearly powdered and reconstituted, and the sausage tastes like it was seasoned with regret. At 380 calories and 24 grams of fat, this single sandwich contains more fat than a Big Mac. The sodium content clocks in at 920 milligrams. That's nearly half your daily limit before you've even had your morning coffee. The egg is made from whole eggs, water, soybean oil, modified food starch, salt, xanthan gum, citric acid, and artificial butter flavor. At what point does it stop being an egg and start being an egg-flavored food product? We passed that point about 6 ingredients ago. The surprisingly decent number 5, Vans Power Grains Waffles. Finally, we're climbing out of the processed food wasteland and into something that resembles actual food. Vans Power Grains Waffles aren't perfect, but they're a massive step up from the cardboard masquerading as breakfast we've been discussing. The ingredient list reads like something you might actually find in a real kitchen. Whole wheat flour, water, eggs, canola oil, and baking powder. No unpronounceable chemicals, no artificial colors, no high fructose corn syrup. The texture is notably better than mass-market alternatives. They're not as fluffy as homemade waffles, but they have actual substance and don't dissolve into mush when you add syrup. The whole grains provide fiber and protein that will actually keep you satisfied until lunch. Compared to Eggo waffles, Vans provides 3 grams of fiber and 4 grams of protein per serving, with significantly less sodium and no artificial preservatives. It's not health food, but it's actual food, which puts it miles ahead of the competition. Number 4. Amy's Breakfast Burrito. Amy's has built their reputation on organic, minimally processed foods, and their breakfast burrito delivers on that promise. This is what happens when a food company prioritizes ingredients over profit margins. The scrambled eggs are made from organic eggs. Actual eggs, not egg products. The cheese is organic cheddar, not processed cheese food. The vegetables are recognizable as vegetables, not vegetable-flavored substances. The ingredient list is refreshingly short and readable. Organic eggs, organic potatoes, organic cheddar cheese, organic bell peppers, organic onions. You could make this at home with ingredients from any grocery store. At 270 calories with 11 grams of protein and 4 grams of fiber, this burrito will actually keep you satisfied. The sodium content is reasonable at 540 milligrams, still higher than homemade, but not the salt bomb we've seen elsewhere. The only downside is the price point. You're paying premium prices for premium ingredients. But when you consider what you're getting versus the processed alternatives, it's actually a reasonable value. Number 3. Kodiak Cakes Power Waffles. Kodiak Cakes has revolutionized the frozen waffle game by doing something radical. They made waffles that are actually nutritious. These aren't just waffles with protein powder sprinkled on top. They're fundamentally different from anything else in the freezer aisle. 12 grams of protein per serving puts these waffles in the same league as a couple of eggs. The protein comes from whole wheat flour and whey protein concentrate, not from mysterious protein isolates or chemical additives. The ingredient list is impressively clean. Whole wheat flour, water, whey protein concentrate, eggs, and a few other recognizable ingredients. No artificial flavors, no high fructose corn syrup, no chemicals you need a chemistry degree to pronounce. With 5 grams of fiber per serving, these waffles will actually keep you full until lunch. Compare that to Eggo waffles, which provide essentially no fiber and leave you hungry an hour later, reaching for more processed food. The texture is substantial without being dense, and they actually taste like waffles rather than waffle-flavored cardboard. They're proof that frozen breakfast foods don't have to be nutritional disasters. Number 2. Simple Mills. Almond flour pancake and waffle mix, frozen version. Simple Mills took a different approach to frozen breakfast. Instead of trying to make cheap ingredients taste good, they started with premium ingredients and made them convenient. The result is a frozen pancake that's actually worth eating. The base is almond flour, not enriched wheat flour. That means you're getting healthy fats, protein, and fiber instead of empty carbohydrates. The other ingredients read like a real recipe: eggs, coconut flour, baking soda, sea salt. These pancakes provide 6 grams of protein and 3 grams of fiber per serving, with significantly less sugar than conventional alternatives. The healthy fats from almonds help stabilize blood sugar, preventing the crash you get from traditional pancakes. The almond flour base means these pancakes have a much lower glycemic impact than wheat-based alternatives. You won't experience the blood sugar spike and crash that leaves you hungry and tired by mid-morning. The only drawback is availability. They're not in every grocery store yet, but when you can find them, they're a game changer for anyone who wants convenient breakfast without compromising their health. Number 1. Nature's Path. Organic toaster pastries. Taking the top spot is Nature's Path Organic Toaster Pastries, and here's why this is remarkable. They took the Pop-Tart concept and made it into actual food. This is what happens when a company prioritizes nutrition over profit margins. Every single ingredient is organic and recognizable. Organic wheat flour, organic cane sugar, organic palm oil, organic strawberries. No artificial colors, no high fructose corn syrup, no chemicals that sound like they belong in a laboratory. While still a sweet treat, these contain 11 grams of sugar compared to Pop-Tart's 16 grams. More importantly, the sugar comes from organic cane sugar and real fruit, not from a cocktail of different corn syrups and artificial flavors. With 3 grams of fiber and 3 grams of protein per pastry, these actually provide some nutritional value beyond empty calories. The whole grain flour provides sustained energy instead of the sugar crash you get from conventional toaster pastries. The strawberry filling contains actual pieces of organic strawberries. You can see them, taste them, and your body can recognize them as real food. It's a revolutionary concept in the toaster pastry world. Yes, they cost more than Pop-Tarts. But when you consider that you're getting organic ingredients, real fruit, and actual nutrition, the price premium is justified. You're paying for food, not food-like substances. From the breakfast disasters masquerading as morning fuel to the surprisingly decent options that won't sabotage your health, this ranking reveals a fundamental truth about the frozen breakfast industry. Most companies are more interested in your wallet than your well-being. The pattern is clear. The worst offenders prioritize shelf stability, profit margins, and addictive flavor combinations over actual nutrition. They've engineered products that hit your brain's reward centers while providing minimal nutritional value, leaving you hungry, unsatisfied, and reaching for more processed food. But the good news is that you have choices. Companies like Nature's Path, Kodiak Cakes, and Amy's prove that convenient breakfast doesn't have to mean compromising your health. They're showing the industry that consumers are willing to pay for quality ingredients and honest nutrition. The next time you're standing in the frozen food aisle, remember this ranking. Your morning meal sets the tone for your entire day. Make it count. Choose products with ingredients you can pronounce, companies that prioritize your health over their profit margins, and foods that will actually nourish your body instead of just filling your stomach. If this deep dive into frozen breakfast opened your eyes to what's really in your freezer, hit that like button and subscribe for more food investigations that cut through the marketing BS. And let me know in the comments, which frozen breakfast item shocked you the most? Thanks for watching, and remember, life's too short for bad breakfast. Choose wisely.